Hello and welcome to the H2H Sports Podcast. This is episode number 54. My name is Ismael San Juan. Thank you so much for being here. I had my good friend Amadou come onto the show. It was a great discussion. We talked about all the crazy games that happened today. Spain versus Croatia, France versus Switzerland. It was a crazy, crazy day of European football. Also, we gave our predictions for tomorrow's game, England versus Germany, as well as who we think is going to win the NBA Finals. It was a great conversation with my friend Amadou. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's cut to that now. What's up, Amadou? Thank you for coming on to the H2H Sports Podcast. First time on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ish, for having me. First time I'm on a podcast, so I'm pretty excited. Let's get these takes off.
Let's get it. Let's do it. So I take it you watched these games, exciting games, Croatia versus Spain, Switzerland versus France. The French are out. What are your thoughts about the French getting eliminated in the Euros, the current world champions?
So even before the Euros started, I was like, if France is serious, they should take this thing all the way and win it.
Right.
But today we saw Mr. Didier Deschamps decided to start Clement Lenglet.
Yeah.
He stinks for Barcelona. Like, even I know Barca fans don't even rate him like that. So I don't know how he started. Like, I'm a Chelsea fan, so I was kind of biased. So I want Kurt Zuma to start. But I know Kurt Zuma got a little bit of bozo gene in him where he messes up a few times too. The bozo gene is bigger with Lenglet, as we saw. One little push and he was...
Yeah, what was he doing on that goal, right? He wasn't even aware of where the ball was, just completely lost his...
Which is funny because, like, ball watching is what catches you out, but he wasn't even watching the ball, so...
What I was surprised, too, is he put him in that center of the three center backs. He didn't even put him, like, on the side. I would have put Varane or Kempembe, whatever his name is. I would have put one of them in the middle instead of, like, the more experienced, or, like, they're the better ones, I believe. And to be the heart of the three center backs.
Why is Deschamps playing three at the back?
He plays super conservative. That's one thing I've noticed him over the years. Like, he has all this talent going forward, but he always likes to play, he even plays a center back as a right back when they play a back four. So
I'm an old head. So I heard the other day, me and my brother were talking. We're like, Deschamps plays his style of soccer the way he played back when he was playing with Zidane and Henry and Trezeguet and all those boys. So it's a mirror of what he's doing right now, which doesn't make sense because you don't need to do that. You have the horses to go and score goals, lots of goals.
Yeah, exactly. And you see it once he brought in, was that winger from the fast winger? I forgot his name.
Kingsley Coman?
Yeah, when he brought in Coman and he just completely changed the dynamic of that offense. Like, it's more fluid. Like, you actually got pacier people on the flanks to attack. Yeah. And I feel like that's like, he needs to play more attack, and he kind of plays like you said, very conservative attack, like kind of like wants to stall the game out. And for France, like, this is one of the best squads ever assembled, not just for France, but like anywhere. Like, they're stacked everywhere.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is weird to me is like, all right, you got N'Golo in the heart of center. You're up 3-1, 77th minute. Why don't you bring in Sissoko? Actually, don't play him wide like you brought him
in the
later.
wing.
Put him, because I don't know, Sissoko playing a winger, that's really helpful. Put him right in that pocket of space.
Yeah.
Him and N'Golo, shut the game down. The closer, Mariano Rivera type role, close it down.
Exactly.
And we saw the third goal right through the heart of that defense.
Right through the heart. And I think France as a whole, they got kind of cocky too. Like, we saw Pogba, like, I don't want to really harp on him because he had a great tournament and he had a great goal. It was a banger of a goal and it deserved like a little celebration, but he danced for a while. It seemed like they thought that was it. Like, the Swiss were done. Like, we scored 3 on them, and like, I feel like they didn't watch the game earlier. Like, maybe they weren't, maybe they're warming up, but someone should have told them, hey, they were up 3-1 too, and they scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. Like, anything could happen. Even the commentators were like, we just saw it happen. Like, it could happen again, and it did, and that was crazy. But credit to the Swiss, right?
Yep. Switzerland, they're one of those teams, like, you don't expect too much or whatever, but you have to beat them because if you're not on, they can surprise you. Like we saw in 2010. I know it's a long time ago, but they beat Spain. They won the World Cup that first game. They beat them. So it's like
they've had a trouble advancing from, like, they haven't won a knockout game in forever. But they've played some tough oppositions, and today they showed a lot of heart. I don't know. Xhaka, I know he plays in Arsenal, so I know you don't rate him that high when he plays in Arsenal.
Man. For Switzerland, bro, that's that international. I don't know, those bright lights. He shines brightest.
There's just some players that play way better with their teams. They feel the jersey more or something. I don't know.
Like the pride or whatever.
Yeah. Like when you play for a club, yeah, you're the one paying me, you're signing the checks. But when you're representing that country, I feel like there's just some players that really like step it up. They love their country so much.
It's a more of a familiarity role because like you're back home you're not back home, but you're supporting your country, that your roots and everything. So it kind of like invigorates you a little bit more.
Yeah, it gets everyone united too. Sometimes with these big clubs, you could have a bunch of egos. Like you might not like somebody on the team. You're like, why did we sign this guy? You're always like trying to, like if you're like a good player, you're trying to keep a roster spot for the next season. When you're with the national team, you're always trying to make the next call up, but once you make a tournament, it's all just like you guys are all just trying to be together and like have one objective.
Hey, let's talk about our boy Kylian Mbappe.
Oh,
star boy, supposed to be, man, the next Brazilian Ronaldo, man. I when he first came out,
yeah. So what do you think about that penalty miss? Everybody. I think that's the saddest part is that there was 9 penalties taken before him, and all 9 of them were converted. And Kylian Mbappe,
they were solid penalties. These were like top class penalties, and you came and gave that meek effort. I'm like, Kylian.
To be fair, what's his name? Lloris had one around the same height or going the same way, where he got a paw on it and it went in.
Yeah,
he should have. Although he did save him in the regular time, so. Can't fault him too much, but yeah, Mbappe, he has to close the deal at that point. He has to extend it. He can't be the one to miss the penalty. Am I right?
Yep. Even before that, before we get to PKs, he had like 4 good chances. That one, that Pogba through ball that split the defense wide open.
Yeah.
Instead of like you always tell me, open up your hips, open up your hips,
dude. That's what I was saying. I was like,
open up your hips.
Why did he let it run to his weak left foot? He's righty. It was easy. All he had to open up the hips, place it on the and he let it run. And especially when the ball is going across your body like that, it just picks up more speed. And it got too long for him, and he had like no angle.
He just lashed at it.
Yeah, if he hits it first time, like so what do you think is the next step for Mbappe? Because I mean, people were comparing like some of the failures. I saw ESPN post like Messi and Ronaldo and Mbappe when they're all like getting eliminated from tournaments, and they were like, oh, it's part of the process.
I mean,
but for Mbappe, he already won a World Cup. So like,
yeah,
so like,
he won a World Cup. His legacy set in stone. He scored in a World Cup final. What, 18 years old?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's Pele, but only World Cup scorer at that kind of age was Pele.
Yeah.
So I'm like, his legacy internationally is kind of set in stone. But in club level, there's something like even the Champions League final, he had a great chance early in that game.
Yeah.
And he fluffed his lines, and him and Neymar couldn't get the job done.
So what do you think is next for Mbappe? Because I think he just had a rough tournament. I don't think it's like it's something that we need to like do a deep dive on and just be like, damn, like is he not a performer at the highest levels with the international team with his national team? Like I think he's proven that, and I think he's still very young. So I don't think this is like something like, damn, I don't think this should be like something that we should be worried for like the World Cup next year or something like that. Where I don't think it's gonna carry over. But you think it could have a negative impact or it could affect? I mean, he is very young, so it could like. What do you think?
Nah, because let's just go through examples. I know comparisons shouldn't be the end all be all, but like we look at Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo,
right?
94 World Cup, 17 years old, didn't play, but he was on the squad. Comes in 1998, he was supposed to be the man. Oh, Nike, all these advertisements, that iconic commercial in the airport. In the final, he goes missing. They think, is he poisoned? Is he nerves? Is he like something was going on?
Right.
And then 4 years later, 2002, after all those injuries he went through, it's the World Cup. One of the best turns. That little ugly haircut of his.
Yeah.
But, so you bounce back, you know. And you look at Cristiano Ronaldo. 2012, wanted to be the 5th penalty taker. Didn't even get that far.
Yeah.
But 2016, even though he was hurt,
he was a
verbal communicator with the team.
Yeah.
So it's like, but Messi on the other hand, better left unsaid, even though he's made it to the final. Man, I love Messi. I'm a big Messi fan. So Barca fans, don't be slandering me. You know, I got love for Messi, but hey, man, that World Cup final, I mostly blame Gonzalo Higuain because that miss was egregious, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, let's get back into these Frenchmen. Who's to blame for the Frenchmen, you know, getting eliminated for not winning Europe. They lost the final in 2016, and a lot of people had them as the favorites, even against Portugal. I think I had them as favorites too. This Portugal squad and the squad from 2016 are completely different. I think that one over exceeded expectations. This one kind of was a little bit of a disappointment, but they won the World Cup, but they still haven't been European champions for a while. So who do you think the blame should be put on the most?
It has to be Deschamps because he's the one who picks the squad, and I hate harping on players like that, but what has Longley showed you at club level where he warrants that kind of international call up when you have Upper Meccano, Konate, all these like Leipzig those defenders from Leipzig, like those guys have actually shown me so they made it to a semifinal of Champions League just last season. So there's something there. So why didn't you give him a call up maybe? And it's like Longley, bro. Like of all players, like
I feel like some like with national teams, a lot of coaches just seem to fall in love with a certain player, and they always just get I mean, I know it's true for Mexico, but obviously Mexico doesn't have the squad depth, so it kind of makes more sense. But like even like watching England, I know Sterling scored like a couple goals, but like I know he surprised a lot of people when Sterling started for England. And it wasn't because he like merited because of form or anything. I think the coach just really likes him. Like, and I think a lot of international coaches tend to do that sometimes, like where they like some players and they roll with them all the time, even if they're not in form. But yeah, I agree. I don't think he should have been starting in that back three in a knockout game too.
Exactly. He didn't play the group stage games, and he comes in first game knockout.
Yeah,
like what?
Who does that? That was.
He does it. The show does that.
That was a little weird. Who else? If you had to put another game.
Blame probably. Well, a little bit has to go to Pogba, just a little bit, because the pass in that midfield that led to the goal, he gave up. It was there was kind of a blind pass. Mbappe, obviously, because for a talent that's so young and so good, he fluffed his lines way too many times.
Yeah, no goals the whole tournament. And France didn't look too dominating in the group stage. I know they were in the group of death, but Germany was kind of struggling. They had Hungary, Portugal. They were kind of it seemed like they were content with just getting the tie. They didn't really want to. I thought that was going to be a good warm up for the knockout stages, just to really try to go like show what we got. They didn't flex their muscles too much.
It's kind of like it's like. I don't know, it's a French pattern or whatever, because same thing happened. Like they won the World Cup in 98, won the Euros in 2000, 2002, get knocked out of the group stages.
Right.
And albeit Zidane wasn't healthy, I think he had a torn hamstring, if I recall, or messed up something like that. So it's like maybe champions hangover. They don't have I don't know, because we saw Spain, what they did those 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
So I was kind of expecting the same from France.
Exactly.
Once they won the World Cup and you see the list and you see the people that don't even make the squad and you're like, well, there's nothing like this in the world of football right now that just they don't even go 23 deep. They go like 30 deep. They're crazy. It's crazy. But you think they should get a new coach? Zidane maybe?
I was actually talking to my big brother about this. We're like, France are I think they're still the favorites for the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, that defense, I know. I just said that they're the favorites, but if they can get Upper Meccano and all those other guys, French guys that didn't make the team, they have a great club season next year.
Yeah,
they qualify. They should do some damage. They should probably at least finals for me. That's finals of us for France at this stage.
100%.
And for Deschamps, I think he's done enough. He got the World Cup in his back pocket. So if I was him, I'll try to ride one more out. 2022. Doesn't work out, we move on to Zidane. Because Zidane, man, you don't want to do club level with all that Real Madrid week-to-week politics. Comes to the French team, 3-4 months, we vibe a little bit, we come together, we win a couple international trophies, I go back to Ibiza and we chilling. So,
That's a good setup. So let's move on to the next game. Spain versus Croatia. Sad for me as a Madrid fan to see Luka Modric bow out of the competition, but it was another exciting game. Did you see that own goal by the goalkeeper? What were your thoughts on that? Did you see that one?
Unai Simon, hey man, hey, bro, it happens. You know, you just gotta keep your head down and keep it going. I know it's a mistake. Hey, they won, but it's just like it happens.
These Spain goalkeepers, man, it's like no one wants to take that starting position by the stranglehold.
Iker Casillas ain't walking through those doors, man. He ain't gonna come and save those guys, man. So it's like,
what happened to De Gea?
De Gea is like, he's not 2018 De Gea. Kepa, don't get me started on Kepa. Please don't. Please, God. I'm a Chelsea fan. Please, God. Atletico Bilbao, I'm calling you guys out for robbing my team, man.
Be arrested.
92 million, whatever it costs. Oh man, I'm hurting. But thank God we got Mendy. So,
but anyways, Spain. I think they showed some composure in overtime to get the 5-3 victory after conceding 2 goals. Because it looked like it was gonna be rough for Croatia to come back from 3-1 because they didn't really earn that first goal. So you're kind of like, okay, where are they even going to get these goals from? And then they score 2 goals and you're like, whoa, they got like all the momentum going into overtime. You know, I feel like some doubts might have crept up on Spain. Like everyone keeps telling them that they're not that golden generation. Like, yeah, Koke, you're good, but you're not Iniesta. Yeah, Rodri, you're good, but you're not Xavi. Like everyone's just like, yeah, but you're not David Villa. And yeah, you're not Casillas. Like, you know, no matter how good they do, there's always going to be people that tell them like, all right, but you're not Los Rojos from 2008 to you know, everyone's telling them that. So I think they showed a lot of heart, a lot of composure in overtime to not, you know, blow it against Croatia, who showed a lot of heart. Yep. Oh, what are your thoughts on the Spain team?
Well, first I was stunned that like because you're a Madrid fan and Luis Enrique, I like he's a cool coach. I mean, he won a trophy with Barcelona and stuff. Yeah. But I was surprised he didn't even take one Real Madrid player for like again, my brother and I were talking like maybe just one for camaraderie, you know, for the whole country. Yeah. So we're just like, why is he doing that? And then again, he starts with Alvaro Morata. Hey guys, slander me all you want, but when we bought Alvaro Morata, Chelsea bought Alvaro Morata. Yeah. My big brother got me a Alvaro Morata jersey, authentic.
Okay.
And we see how much he stinks right now, even though he scored the game winner. But like as a Chelsea man, I have a Morata jersey hidden in my closet. I've worn it once. It's been collecting dust for the past 2-3 years. So you can slander me all you want.
Yeah, your brother wasted some money.
My brother got that Bay Area dough, so I ain't got to worry about it. You chilling. But that's not the point. But for the Spain team, back being serious again.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not gonna. That generation right there was once in a millennium. But this one right here, they got pieces. And I'm glad they finally started using the pieces like the cast-offs, you know, like, because that's what Equates would have never sniffed this team 7 years ago. So I'm glad he made it. And like Pau Torres and all these other, like these, I won't say smaller teams, but you know, it's not the Real Madrid or Barcelona type of quality other than Sergio Busquets. It's like.
Yeah, even like their back four, like Laporte, he was like a cast-off from France.
Yeah.
Garcia.
Both Man City rejects, basically.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was saying.
It's just
like Spain is just like kind of like piecing wherever they can find something. They're like, let's try to make it work.
Yeah, and I was worried because like it was 3-1 right up until like what the 80th minute, whatever.
80 like second or 85th minute, I believe.
And I was like, why is Spain still pushing such a high line still up? I was just like, they're gonna get scored on. Like I mean, my brother again, we were talking. I was just like, the game's 3-1 and you're Spain. Usually you slow the game down.
Yeah. And you're Spain. Like this should work for you. You guys love keeping possession.
So I was just like, why are you guys pushing such a high line up when you guys are up? Just close up shop and pass it around. So again, lucky for them, they made it through,
and they have the Swiss next, so they should be favorites against them too.
They should be. We'll see Switzerland, you know, like it's one of those things like, you put all your heart in that French game and then come against another team, you lay an egg. Like,
exactly.
I've seen that too many times. Like,
it happens all the time. I think it just happened. Yeah. I'm sure it happened recently. I forgot what was the thing where you were just like, I think with the Bucks, lost game 1, and I feel like it was like the high of like game 7 too.
Yeah,
like, it's like you get so pumped up, so exhilarated that like playing like a regular, like or less meaningful game is just like. But I mean, how far do you think Spain could go?
If they take care of business, because Croatia is no pullover or pushover because they made it to the final of the World Cup a few years ago, even though it's not the same 100% exact team.
They didn't have Perisic. I think he had COVID.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's like Switzerland, they'll give them some tests, but I think the defenders of Spain, probably their center backs are just slightly better than France's in terms of in the air. So I think maybe the aerial threat won't be as damaging to Spain, but we'll see because.
Yeah. So shout out to Luka Modric, man.
Hey,
a great international career. This is probably the last time we see him at a big tournament. Maybe next year for Croatia. I don't know how.
Because Kovacic, again, Chelsea player, but I ain't biased like that. Kovacic is a fetch and carry player, but he can't really fetch and carry that well. He can't even shoot.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the next dog for Croatia after Modric. So it's like, bro, what are your qualities that you bring that we can say, all right, you about to take the mantle from Modric? Right?
Yeah. So it needs to be somebody else.
Yeah.
But personally, I think Spain, because they're like surprisingly, they're showing a stat. I know they scored in overtime, but they're the first European team to score 5 goals in back-to-back games or like in 2 games straight. So I mean, and we still think of them like as not getting their shoots, the brutes right. Like if they start shooting correctly, if Morata or Fernando Torres or anybody can start like actually finishing their chances, I think they have some potential. They're as far as like not the favorites, I think they're like because Italy is a dark horse too, but they have a tough one too coming up. So it's Spain, Italy, Portugal's out, France is out. I feel like it's starting to open up. There's a lot of teams that could win it.
Belgium, this is it.
But yeah, even Belgium though, they what's his name? De Bruyne left with an injury.
Yeah.
Hazard pulled the hammy. Like they're kind of falling apart, which seems to be like a usual thing for Belgium. They kind of get hurt a lot.
It's just the golden generation is there, but just a little bit something like, is it Benteke tearing his ACL here?
Yeah.
Lukaku coming out of
when
shape.
Benteke was hot. When Benteke was like a baller. And then he's like, come on, like we could have used you. So what do you think about tomorrow, England versus Germany? How do you think that's going to play out?
The English.
Is it coming home?
Is it coming home? I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. Gareth Southgate, I don't know why is he so dumb. Like I again, I can't be harping on people, but we got to be honest here.
Let's be honest.
International soccer is about vibes and unity. This man wants to be seen as some kind of tactical genius.
Yeah.
Where you're only with these guys for maybe 2-3 months in totality in the whole year.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you need to experiment? Oh, do this little pocket of space here, or do this.
Put a right back as a left back,
Overthinking it. Like, just go out and dominate. And then the whole Jadon Sancho thing, like, how are you going to say he's inexperienced? Like, Declan Rice has never played Champions League football. Calvin Phillips, although he had a great game, his haircut's dope, I love it, but he's never played Champions League football.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what's the experience disconnect you're having? Like, I know maybe they call it the Bundesliga tax or whatever. I sometimes call it that because Bayern, no team should be winning leagues like 10 straight years. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But with Jadon, we've seen him in the Champions League. He's produced. He's done well in the Champions League. It's not like some kind of pushover.
And every English team is like salivating their lips for him. So it's not like he's some unknown player. We've been not seeing this. He's been doing this for like years too. He didn't just pop out. Yeah,
it's like, I don't understand. Like, hey, Mason Mount and him together, I think that would work out. Even the Jack Grealish conundrum. Hey, if Southgate really wants to do it, why doesn't he just take out Mason Mount? And I know he's a Chelsea player. I love Mason Mount, my favorite player right now, of the young players from Chelsea.
Yeah.
But for him, he's not as attacking, like, dangerous one-on-one as Jack Grealish, who can open up a defense, get 2 defenders drawn onto him. So you bring him on, you bring a Jadon Sancho, you can't do 1v1. You have to worry about it. And then Germany, Mats Hummels, whose hamstrings can barely go.
Yep. He needs help getting out of bed sometimes, I heard. Almost.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. And then, all right, what's up with the man Harry Kane, bro? What's up with Harry Kane? This man wants to be playing like Rui Costa, dropping deep, dropping dimes to these players.
Get your ass in the ball.
I didn't want to cuss. I was like, get your ass in the paint. Like they say in basketball, get your ass in the paint.
But I think it's all part of, like, I don't want to harp, like you said, I don't want to just put all the blame on one person, but Southgate football is so slow, man. It's like
No.
pick up the intensity, have a little bit of passion, like get some numbers up. So like if I was like, I'm not trying to give Kane a pass, but if I'm sitting up there and nothing's happening, my natural instinct is like, fuck, let me go down there and try to get at least a touch or something, because
true.
they don't like I'm used to seeing like Walker attack the flanks. They never get to the touchline. They're just passing the ball, like no intensity. Like it looks like you're playing FIFA and it's like the 90th minute and your players have like no stamina, you know? They're just dragging their feet kind of. I don't know why they play so slow. Like,
and if you're gonna do that, if you can do that, Harry Kane drop on, put on Marcus Rashford, because he can drop, because Kane can drop, and Rashford can do the thing he does with Son at Tottenham, and he can make those runs over the top. Kane can dime him if you want to play that. Because to have another striker on, because I know Raheem Sterling is good and all, but the way the form is, his touch, like those over the top, he doesn't have the most clean touch. Those like for some reason,
he never gets it clean onto the goalie. Like it's always like a little behind or it goes too forward. Like it's never just like.
The only person I know who's like, not only person, but one of like the best I've ever seen over the top and killing it on the run was David Villa. And so, but I think Marcus Rashford has a little bit of David Villa where he can kill the ball, take a touch around defender and whip one into the goal. But I don't know. Like, I honestly, for me, I thought England, like if they were smart, like I always say, if you're smart, if you don't try to be some galaxy brain nonsense, you guys should win. And the only weakness they have was Jordan Pickford, because that keeper stinks.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, 100%.
Like he's.
Yeah, we were harping on the Spain keepers. We kind of gotta talk a little something for these English keepers.
They lucky Dean Henderson's hips is like turkey legs right now, falling off the bone. So it's like, they're lucky, because Jordan Pickford, that man is awful. He's the reason. Like I always say to myself, like you can have players not win you games, but just make sure you don't lose a game, man. Don't be the one where they pick on. And Jordan Pickford
Pickford is living off. He had like a decent World Cup, or when was it that he had like and he's still living off that, like
2018, whatever.
Yeah, he had like a decent World Cup where he had like he looked pretty good, but bro, like
gassed him up.
He had one good tournament. Yeah,
gas me up.
Just because he had one good tournament shouldn't just give you an automatic start for the rest of your career. Like we've seen what he's done like these last few years at Everton, or he plays for Everton, right?
Yeah, he got the Tim Howard.
We've seen him like mess up, but like you said, there's not too much behind him either. So
like he got the Tim Howard syndrome. Like I love Tim Howard, but bro, you hit that shot from like 20, 25 yards out, that man is all over the place. So it's like he couldn't handle long distance shot. And Pickford, it seems like when the ball is a little further out, he starts getting blurry out or whatever. Yeah. So,
but you know, you were just harassing the English team, harassing Southgate. The German team is not too hot either. You know, they struggle. They were out of the tournament for like 30 minutes versus Hungary, or most of the game. They got a late win. They squeak into this next round. I feel like both of these teams are just asking to get kicked out of the tournament, but one of them has to win. Do you have any criticisms for Germany, or this is the last tournament for their head coach? How do you think this is going to play out?
Again, Germany living off of legacy things too, because like 2010 you had Thomas Müller and Mesut Ozil. I'm talking about the young blood.
Okay.
Those guys came in, they shook it up. Even though they didn't make it to the finals, they only made it to the semis. But you saw there were some pieces there. 2014, you saw the fruits of their labor. It bared out.
Götze,
exactly. But since that period of those two guys kind of leading like the offensive generation, it's been kind of like, where's Julian Draxler? He was supposed to step up. Andre Schürrle never took
the bench at PSG. Yeah.
So it's like those guys that were supposed to take the mantle from the Ozil.
Even Götze too.
Götze, but ACL injury, you know, it's injury. That's a little different. But it's like these guys that were supposed to be the next breed of Germans, the next Balaks or stuff like that, they didn't really take over.
Even your boy, Words. I know he's Havertz. I know he's played.
The thing about Havertz, I don't know what to make of him. Like, you can see the talent there, but sometimes he just looks so lazy. He kind of got that Berbatov, like, I don't care. I'm
too cool to try.
Yeah. But I swear, if someone can just a little punch, like maybe
even Warner. What happened with Warner too? Like, they were supposed to be the guys.
Those guys. The thing about Timo, like, I like him. He's a good person. Like his interviews for our team, but like I know from 2018. like I know who cares about like the whole bag and tricks and stuff like that, but you at least gotta have one or two go-to moves. Maybe like a little Cruyff turn, a little pullback. But Timo, I love him, Chelsea player again. But that man, straight line. There's no like, and you see him get to the byline. He doesn't have like a cutback or a pullback. It's just straight byline or kicking out of bounds or a corner kick or whatever. So
it's like he has a blind, like the blind's up and it's just straight.
He should have just become like Jesus Navas and just byline cross, nothing else. But he's playing too high up where it's like, dog, you don't need like one-on-one step overs. You know, like this is like the fundamentals. Like,
and they don't have a striker either. Like they're playing Gnabry, shuffling different people up there.
Like why?
Like a false nine type of thing.
Like I've never seen how. Like I see the starting lineups, on ESPN Forum. Like, why is he the 9 on the team? Like, why is he playing center striker? I only see him as wingers with him.
He's a dangerous winger too. At that, he's good at getting one-on-ones, drawing fouls, doing all that stuff.
But the thing about the Germans though, like, which is weird for like the English and French, because they slowed their tempo down for some reason.
Yeah, the
Germans have always played they're technically efficient, very tidy, robotic. You see Toni Kroos just playing the ball. But there was a time in that Portugal game when those goals were coming, they turned on the notches because they saw like Nelson Semedo, that right back. I think he's not a great player one-on-one.
He's not the best.
Not the best. But Goossens was just boom, bang, bang. And there were 1-2 passes on the right wing, switch.
They noticed that the right wing was not helping Semedo either. So it was just Semedo on an island.
Yeah.
So Semedo was, guarding their left wing and nobody was following with the left back. And Portugal, which I think their coach needs a little, maybe a shuffling too, didn't see that and made no adjustments and they took advantage of it.
What's it called? João Cancelo. He didn't.
Yeah. That was a big, he got COVID too.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate.
Also, like Semedo, like he also had to help Pepe out because Pepe is older.
Yeah.
The legs
all those crossing runs. You saw him tuck in a lot.
Yeah. So
and like I said, Portugal didn't make the adjustment to tell Silva or anybody on that side, like, hey, we're getting slobbered on this side. Like, you guys have to freaking drop down.
What's up with Bernardo Silva, bro? It seems like since like 2019, he's just there. Like hasn't really raised his level up. It's plateaued.
During that time, there was a lot of articles, a lot of pundits that were saying that it would like Portugal was about to become Silva's team, that like he was gonna take like the reins and just who's the best player in Portugal, Silva, but he hasn't really been doing too hot.
He's like kind of taking a backseat. He's taking, it is KDB's team basically at Man City midfield, but he's taking such a backseat. Like, he's not as influential as he used to be. Like the Champions League final, I didn't see him this whole season. He wasn't what we expect of him. So it's like. But
I know we haven't really, had too many positive things to say about England or Germany, but one of them has to win. So
positive.
What's the prediction? What's the prediction? Who's gonna win? Who's going?
All right.
Because if you look at the brackets, they're on the easier side of the bracket.
Yeah,
it's not hard to see the winner of this game going all the way to the final. Just no offense to the other teams, but there's not too many big teams on this side.
Yeah.
Other than I think Netherlands was like the other big one, and they're out. So
that was awesome. That was some Fugazi shit, man. They won their group games, but like, bro. Johan Cruyff is rolling in his grave. You guys are supposed to play 4-3-3. Out here playing 3 center backs.
Yeah.
For all you fans, go look at that Jose Mourinho post-match interview where he talks about De Boer and his record and all that stuff. Yeah. One of the greatest put-downs ever.
Okay, so who's winning? Who do you got?
I think I got Germany. I would say 3-2.
3-2?
Yeah. But if England do pull it out, I think it'll be, I know it's very cliche to say, I'll say it's 2-1 England.
2-1 England?
Mm-hmm.
But you're like that. If England, you said if, but your prediction is
Germany.
Germany 3-2.
3-2.
Okay. Yeah, I have Germany winning 2-0. I don't have England. Like, I don't believe in Southgate at all. And they play too slow. They play so slow, so I don't even think they're gonna be able to punish the Germany's slow-footed defense, which they should. But I don't think they will because their attack has no intensity to it.
Exactly. And for Harry Kane, if I were him, instead of drifting far back, I would try to drift wide to create that gap with Hummels drives, and hopefully Raheem Sterling or one of these other wingers can just exploit that through the middle.
Yeah.
Because it should be, but easier said than done. But
all right, and last topic, the Hawks are down 2-1 against the Bucks. They play tomorrow. You think they have any chance of tying this series? They do play in Atlanta, but Trey Young looks like he's questionable for tomorrow. He tweaked his ankle with the ref.
Yeah, his best friend, I heard on Twitter.
The guy he's always talking to every time of the game.
Yeah, but I mean, he's cut down the foul baiting a little bit.
Yeah.
Cut it down. But it's like it all depends on his health on tomorrow.
But let's say he plays.
For me, I think it's Milwaukee's time finally. Like Giannis, I know Chris Middleton closed out the deal or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that series against the Nets, albeit they're injured, it's one of those series where you need to get over the hump. It's when Braun finally beat, even though he didn't win the finals in 2007, when he beat those Pistons with that 27 straight, he's like, all right, I know how to beat my conference. I know how to get over the hump.
Yeah.
So it's like Giannis probably has that sense, that moment of clarity. Shout out to 50 Cent, But no, was that 50 Cent? I can't remember, man. It's 2003. I'm getting old. It might have been Jay-Z, whatever. We'll look it up. It was an Eminem. It was an Eminem beat, whatever. Whatever. But he has that moment of clarity.
Yep.
And he's finally realizing I don't have to take 12 threes or whatever. I can get to the paint. I can do my little drop step spin move, get to the hole and score.
A little push shot too.
Yeah, push shot.
That's it.
Like, because the last series, man, I was getting frustrated. Like, my brother and I are like, hey, do you have anything? Like, you don't have to have like a crazy, hezzy jump shot, all those.
Yeah.
But a simple little jump hook, baby sky hook that Shaq used to have, Chris Webber used to have, that little touch around the rim. You know what I mean? That feel. And it seems like.
Don't be delusional either. Don't think like, bro, you shot like 29% from the 3-point line in the regular season. Don't be chucking 8 3-pointers like it's just magically gonna come to you in the postseason. Like, bro, like come on, like you know who you are. Do what you know how to do. Like, come on, don't let the others dictate how you're gonna play.
It's like, honestly, it's down to Giannis because I don't think Coach Bud is a good coach. Like
he's a regular season coach.
He's a seems lost, but Giannis is gonna have to snatch it. Like, just say, you know what, I'm gonna dominate. I'm gonna do whatever my coach says. I don't care. But actually, hold on. Let's be nice here. Let's be positive. I'm a cynical guy, but let's be positive. Budenholzer made a good adjustment. He went small, put in Bobby Portis. I knocked my teammates out with one punch.
So, Chicago
made Mirotic go back to Europe. That's pretty rude, man. I can't believe he did that. But
he was a good like stretch.
Mirotic was a good 3-point. Hey, Mirotic was a solid player too. So
stretch the 4. He's a stretch 4, man.
But back to the point. It's like they figured out go small. You don't have to play Lopez all the time. If you go small,
Lopez was getting exposed in that game 1.
Yeah, like open up the floor. And Chris Middleton, like, people was back and forth. Is he a good 2? Is he a good 2? Can he do it? Can he not do it? Because then Chris Middleton, he has a mid-range game, but sometimes his shot selection is very poor at times because he feels himself. His heat check is like
he does this thing where he's like adjusting his hips as he's throwing like a mid-ranger. Like it just looks very awkward. And sometimes it goes in and sometimes it's like, why are you like adjusting? Like make it one fluid motion. Like
and like back to the point of getting over the hump, like in the last series, like you could tell at some points when KD, would go and do his little 18-foot mid-range one dribble and stop and shot.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton will come and try to do that and brick it. And so they lost a couple of games like just doing that. Like you don't have to match what he's doing because, everybody thinks he's going to be the best doing a mid-range shot. You can just go and get 2 points or 2 points, bro.
Yeah.
Get it how you come. Just get it to the hoop. Make it easy for yourself because you don't have to match the aesthetic.
Exactly.
So it's like Chris Middleton. You go ahead.
I mean, you get some fashion points. You get some smooth points, for making it look nice and effortless. But hey, 2 points, like you said.
It's like Kobe and Jordan. Those guys were 6'6". They weren't the tallest guys, so you can get away with the whole do the turnaround, jump step, all those crazy fadeaways because you can do that. Your size, your quickness allows you to do that. You can get the shot. But when you're a tall guy, everything's kind of slow and plodding.
Yeah, he has like the James Harden body kind of.
James Harden, not even that, man. Too many strip clubs, bro. That man's a strip club Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing, I'm hearing a lot of positive for the Hawks. So for the Bucks. So you don't have the Hawks coming back, right? Because I don't see.
I don't see it because I think the Bucks have adjusted. I know they're talking about Cam Reddish should be this and that. I'm like, it's one of those series like you don't want to put the person back and kind of like ruin the chemistry.
And
like it's happened before. Was it 2009 when your Lakers won the title? I think it was Jameer Nelson was out for like the whole series, like the whole close playoffs. Rayford Alston was starting. He came in. Jameer came back from injury. It kind of ruined the flow of the offense. And again, 2002 with your Lakers going for a three-peat. Peja was hurt. He had like a broken hand or whatever.
Yeah,
he came back a little too early. He should have just rested it out. And he comes back. All I remember as a little kid, this guy is hitting the side of the backboard on threes, airballing 3-pointers.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to go that far. Like, just look at Harden coming back.
Yeah. Like,
you could argue that he hurt the team more than he helped.
Exactly. So it's like I know people, you got to man up and stuff like that, but it's just chemistry. You already have a certain way in the playoffs. You want to have the same chemistry out there.
It's hard to tinker with it. Yeah.
So it's like.
So you got the Bucks. You think they could win it? You think they could win it all?
Honestly,
the Suns have a legit lead right now. I don't think the Clippers are going to come back, but it's the Bucks year. That's what I'm hearing.
Bro, it's the Bucks final to lose, man. If Giannis, I just see, like, I'm not trying to compare them to like the early 2000s Lakers, but what I see is more of like Giannis could be that Shaq where I'm gonna kill you for 3-4 quarters, like midway through the fourth quarter, punish you down low. Not as dominant as Shaq, obviously, but you know what I mean?
Bruise you up.
And then Middleton can come bring it home with a couple mid-range like Kobe did. And then Drew Holiday is there. He can maybe knock down a few shots here and there, kind of like Devin George and Rick Fox, you know, those big time, or Derek Fisher, those timely shots.
Yeah.
So if they figure, and their defense, man, that last 5-6 minutes against the Hawks.
They clamped.
First team, all clamps, the whole team, everybody. So
when they're on, the Bucks have like a legit ass defense.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, Bud, like when they're on, they're on. But when they're off, Bud
can't get them. Bud can't flip the switch.
But yeah, I don't know. But again, it's weird because we're saying the Bucks can win the championship with Bud as their coach, which is funny.
Yeah, so like the Bucks might be like you kind of want to root for them, but you kind of also like, damn, your team has a lot of flaws. Like, how are you guys gonna win? Like, oh man, they're so frustrating. Like, just not even like just Coach Bud, like even their stars, like Giannis could frustrate you at times. Middleton could frustrate you with the shot selection. Middleton goes for 38, 10, 5, 5, like 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. Is like the first player ever to do that, and then he goes. Next game, he shoots like 3 for 19 or something, and you're like, "What the hell?" And then Giannis, he goes a whole game without attempting any shot like outside of the paint, and then the next game he shoots like 5 threes. And Coach Bud, he's won 2 coaches of the year, so you think he's a good coach? You want to believe in the man, and then he has like no out of bounds plays. He makes bad like calls, but it might still be their year. You know, with
all the flaws. It's hilarious to say that, but you know.
Yeah,
it's like.
So I think what we could take away from this is, you know, maybe we shouldn't look at our own flaws in such a bad light.
No. I mean, for me, I'm secure by my insecurities. I know what my problems are, but I'm not gonna let them define myself. So
exactly, like the Bucks this year.
Yeah, you saw that little thing. Giannis said, "I've been to the bottom. I've airballed threes. I've airballed free throws. All the things. I've lost.
I missed 8 in a row.
Yeah, I've done
Oklahoma.
All this. Yeah, so it's like the only way there's up. Like once you reach rock bottom, bro, the only way is up.
Yeah, exactly.
Having that strong head. Don't let that cloud over you. You can make a little, maybe in the back end say, I'm not gonna let this define me.
Right.
But don't let it like haunt you. Like, oh, I'm afraid to fail. You just go out there, man.
Don't be like Ben Simmons.
Let's not get started on that Australian wallaby, man. Bum, bro.
Yeah, we're trying to stay positive. we can't just say all this positive stuff and then kill the man.
I'm sorry. Like, my nature is cynical at heart, but still, I try to be the most. Like, I think Andre 3 Stack said that Future was like the most negative, positive person ever when he was describing his music ever. So I'm kind of like Future in that sense. Like, I'm pretty negative. Like, even our friend Fernando Diaz, he's always said, man, you're always so judgmental. But I'm like, yeah, but I'm still positive. I always give you encouragement. That's true at the same time. So it's like, I don't know, it's not yin and yang, but I don't know. It's just.
You're a walking paradox.
Walking contradiction. Shout out to Green Day. Yeah.
But all right, let's just end this real quick. Once again, say your NBA Finals prediction. Who's going to win it, and who do you got winning the Euros?
All right. So for the NBA, I think the Bucks pull it out over the Suns in 6. barring any miraculous injuries or anything like that crazy out of the store. I think Giannis pulls out the MVP because the way he's tearing it up right now. 30
and 10. 30 and 10. Easy.
So it's like the first time since like, what, 2000 Shaq or something
crazy like that. Yep.
So I think Bucks take it. And the Euros, yeah, man.
It's wide open now.
It's wide open.
Wide open. But let's put it right here on the Hard to Handle podcast. Who do you got winning it?
All right. I'm gonna go with Belgium, man. I still think they have just enough. I know KDB and Hazard are back. I think they just have a little bit enough where they can squeak by. I think maybe Lukaku, because Lukaku has his criticism on, but the way he's been playing,
he's a monster. He's a monster.
He's changed his diet. He changed his what's it called? His training method. Antonio Conte got something out of him.
Super physical now too. He knows how to use his body more than ever.
So it's like maybe he has that little bit of magic where he can like kind of lead the team on his back.
And they got Italy next, right?
I think so.
So if they beat Portugal, they beat Italy. They're on a roll at that point. Yeah, like once you get on a roll, it's hard to stop. It's like a train.
Semifinals with last World Cup too, so it's just and they only lost to France. They lost to the world champions. There's no shame in losing to them. So
I like those predictions. Yeah. For me, I'm with you. I have the Bucks winning it. It seems like everything's lining up for them. The Suns could give them a run. Like they're healthy too. Like Chris Paul is coming back. It looks like he got over that coronavirus. Yeah. Devin Booker, I mean, he broke his nose, but I figure he should be all right.
He should be all right. Hopefully, I know probably the game after when they lost, like he probably couldn't breathe right because it's an adjustment period.
It takes a while. Yeah.
It's not like the regular season where you can kind of like 3, 4, 5 games with that thing, you get comfortable. It's like we'll see.
I think they should be fine, but I think the Bucks. Yeah, I think it's the Bucks' year to win. And for the Euros, like you said, I think it's a crapshoot too, man. It's like you got the World Cup champions, you got the Euro champions out.
Yeah,
I feel like anybody could win it, but I'm kind of leaning with you. I think the winner of Italy versus Belgium, I think they're the ones that play next. I think it's either one of those two.
Yeah,
that's gonna win it.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Hey,
but
these Euros have been fun, even with all the Corona and all this stuff. Hey, stay safe out there, my people. But like, it's been fun. I'm enjoying, it's a nice down killer when summer comes, that summer heat.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a great tournament. A year late, but still, it's great to see the fans back too. It looks like they're adding more people, but it's just any amount of people that they let in. It's been great to see like the real life celebrations. Yeah. It's been great. But thank you, Amadou, for coming on to the podcast, man. It's been a pleasure having you. Long overdue.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man. It's kind of crazy. Ish, why don't you invite me earlier?
Hey, you never asked.
Yeah, sure. Facts.
Hey, but I hope you have a great rest of your day. And, thank you for coming on to the show. This has been episode number 54, I believe.
Damn, 54?
Yeah. Let's get it. All right. Later, Amadou.
Take care.